I'm here in Lower Manhattan, downtown, the financial district. I've been invited to the Spotify office for a bit of a tour, so I'm going to bring you along with me. I've got to interview in a minute Bridget Evans, who is very senior at Spotify in global marketing. Very excited to see what their office is like. This is their office. I'm a bit early. I always turn up to these things early and then regret that a little bit. Yeah, 30 minutes early, that's not acceptable, is it? So I'm going to maybe just wander around a little bit more. Maybe we'll head to Wall Street, see what the financial markets are up to today. As it's tariff day for Donald Trump, very exciting day for anyone who works in finance. Here we go. My show called Life. This is it. So I'm in the 62nd floor, got my Spotify coffee, oat flat white, very nice, really nice office, as you'd imagine, just beautiful, lots of colours, just hanging out. I really want to show you more of this view. Okay, you ready? Let's swing this round, look at that. I get tired of those views. I never know whether I should take my jacket off, be relaxed. I always feel like I'm about to go into an interview and I'm waiting to meet someone, even this isn't, I mean an interview for a job, not an interviewing a person.
Yeah, I've been here a little less than 2 years,
Yeah.
and that's why today is so exciting, because all of these announcements that we've been working hard behind the scenes building are coming to life today.
That's brilliant, you get to tell the world about it. Everyone, look at this. I have the pleasure to chat with Bridget Evans. Sadly, not everyone at Spotify is sat on beanbags curating playlists, but you have one of the best jobs
I know.
in the business here, and I want to know all about it. I've got some questions for you. But first up, I wondered, how was your Spotify Wrapped lining up this year? What have you been listening to in the last few months?
I'm really glad you didn't ask me about last year,
Okay.
which I thought the question was going there.
No, because I always think, okay, do I need to curate this better?
Yes, I do.
How was it? Can you tell me about last year? Tell me your story
Last year, I had one top artist.
Yep.
All of my top songs were from that artist.
Fantastic, yep.
And
does it look is it intense?
I guess I'm a Swiftie, but I'm not like that much of a Swiftie that it should have been my entire Wrapped. But it was.
Great.
Because sometimes you just put something on and it repeats,
let it
and
play,
you just
and you
like it.
Like that one here when you're driving. Yes, please.
Exactly.
Mine was, I felt slightly underserved last year by rock music, so I was very much Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes. So this year I am intentionally diversifying my music.
Just trying to mix
pods.
up a bit now.
I have to say I'm pretty hooked on this new Selena Gomez Benny Blanco album.
Great.
It's good.
It's really good.
It's really beautiful.
First up, what is ads business marketing?
Yes, it's business marketing. It's B2B marketing. My job and my team, we're all about helping advertisers understand and become more familiar with our advertiser offerings.
Yep.
So that's everything from how we educate them on how to use our solutions to drive results, to a service called Creative Lab that we have, which is a team in-house, copywriters, art directors, storytellers, marketers, that are literally ideating with and for our clients and partners and advertisers to come up with campaign ideas. But at the end of the day, it is making sure that our advertising is successful and that advertisers know how to tap into it.
And what do you think is audio advertising has evolved differently from more visual advertising? What's the unique opportunities that it can provide for brands?
Yes. So it's funny because the question suggests that they're different. And my answer is actually that they're coming together.
Yeah.
I'd say with audio advertising, historically, it's like you're listening to radio, you're in the car, you're driving. That is your audio advertising. It was this reach and frequency play to make sure that you go to that audio dealership. I remember from my childhood, because I grew up in Southern California, and I love this because it's all about sonic identity. there was this song, if anyone is from Orange County, it's "You won't get a lemon. She wouldn't have gotten a lemon at Toyota of Orange." And this has been ingrained into my head my entire life. But now with audio advertising and digital streaming, it's with you everywhere. I don't have to be in my car hearing an ad about cars. So it's like literally this morning I'm getting ready and I was like, it's too silent. So I put on some music as I was getting ready. Oftentimes I listen to podcasts when I'm on my way into work. We just talked about...
To get motivated, to get pumped up,
absolutely.
ready for the day.
At the gym, it's getting pumped up for the day. Sometimes it's actually just feeling, you know? But so my point is you're alternating between different types of audio now. Podcasts, music, audiobooks, but it's also all throughout your day. And when you're alternating all throughout your day, you're also alternating between looking at your phone and engaging with the app and then just listening. And when you're looking at your phone and you're engaging in the app, that's where video podcasts come in, or at what we call Canvas, which is the moving images and short GIFs that you see when you're hearing a song. We have ads that use that format. And so I think the difference in how it's evolved is that it's no longer just this like single moment audio experience. It's all throughout your day, and it's also across devices and screens, CTV, phone, and then of course across audio and video. And that's where we're seeing, we can get more into this, but that's where we're seeing more advertising effectiveness is using all of that together versus just audio.
How do you target, if you're working with a brand, what I listen to throughout the day changes based on my mood, based on, like you say, from getting ready to going to work, to playing music in the office, or just watching and listening to an audiobook. How can you target that if someone like me is just so varied? Is there a way to work with brands to make sure you're getting the right people at the right time?
Absolutely. I love this question. So I would say what you're getting at is genre targeting, which is an amazing use of Spotify because, yes, you're changing your moods and your mindsets all throughout your day, and you're listening to different things. But Spotify has all of that historical context on you because we have over 1 billion playlists. We have hundreds of thousands of podcasts, actually millions of podcasts, hundreds of thousands of audiobooks. We have this massive catalog. So that is why everyone feels that Spotify is so personal to them. It's we know what I like today and what I'm going to like next. I didn't like Selena Gomez last year, but I listened to all this other stuff, and now I can't stop listening to that album. And it's the same thing with advertising. We do have that kind of historical context to make sure that we're serving the right ads within the right context of that user based on how they're spending their time on our platform. The other thing I'll say is that people are spending over 2 hours a day on Spotify. And so that's a lot of moments beyond genre targeting and listening to target people based on all sorts of other targeting capabilities that might not be dependent on exactly the type of song or the type of podcast, that it could be demographic or geographic or affinity based in other ways. So there are a lot of ways to go about ensuring the targeting is right for that person, and genre targeting is certainly one, and we just have this massive catalog that helps us do it well.
I always think that Spotify probably think I'm like a 17-year-old girl with some of the things I listen to. So how does Spotify balance creating like a seamless listening experience while still delivering like effective advertising?
Yeah. I always say that if it's not good for people, it's not good for brands. So I'd say our product team does an amazing job at this. A lot of our advertisements, if you think about some of our video products right now, there's like a tap to opt in before you experience it. Or if you are an advertiser and you're serving video ads, your ad isn't served unless it's 100% in view for the user. So I would say there's a bit of just our product strategy, making sure that we are really sensitive and mindful of the consumer experience and not pushing inauthentic things.
And you don't want it to be too disruptive. It's not like you're in the car in Orange County or whatever, and the jingle's playing. You're like, well, what's going on? It needs to feel like it's slightly more integrated and authentic.
By the way, I can't believe I just sang that song.
That's going to be the lead of this. Can you give me a surprising insight about listener behavior that has shaped kind of advertising on Spotify?
The amount of time that is being spent in focus and consuming video, which I know I've talked a bit about, so I'll get to other insights shortly, but we've seen the amount of time that people are spending with video increase 45% 4% year over year. With Gen Z, it's like over 80%.
Yeah.
And so people are just simply looking at their phones more, lyric videos, buying merch. There's so many ways to engage with Spotify beyond audio listening.
Yeah.
And I think that as an insight is just shaping ad campaigns in the sense of, give us both of your formats.
Yeah.
Because we could be more effective in reaching people based on how they're actually using our app. And you can better reach them and maybe reach more people if you have the right messages and assets to do. So I would say there's just the audio and video marriage that is important. In terms of other interesting insights, I think when I look at some of the most creative work on Spotify, it's stemming from insights that only Spotify has.
Yeah.
So everything from you're streaming like a 17-year-old girl, like you just mentioned.
I'm proud of
I'm
it.
not saying that.
No, I'm proud of it.
By the way, I am too.
Yeah.
But it's if we have that, it's like, how can we then lean into that more? And you and I were talking about Wrapped. Wrapped has become this a massive cultural moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, it started as a marketing campaign, and now it's this massive cultural moment because people, they want to share what they're listening to. And I think that's really interesting because I don't know if you want to share your Google search terms.
No.
I don't know if you want to
And
share.
it feels a bit dirty because it's data, but just to have it packaged up in such a nice way that it just shows that this is actually who I am, and you can't deny this is what you've been listening to. This is what music's about, because it's about those subcultures. Back in the day, the music you really was your personality. Now you've got all the music available to you in the world, whereas you had to go hunting for it. So it's nice that you can go, this is who I am. And it's with Olivia Rodrigo, like that was my number one listen. So you get these nice little exclusives now around that. So it's nice that it continues as well.
Yep.
I think that's just really smart.
Yep. The sharing aspect is huge. And also on the receiving end of seeing, if you tell me what was in your Wrapped or what you're listening to right now, I'm like, oh, I want to check that out later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just like leaning more into, and this becomes a creative opportunity, leaning more into the idea that people are proud of, like it's their personal diary that they want to share.
I've got friends who've got the most obscure, like Wrapped. I'm like, who even are any of
I
these
know.
people? I'm like, I wish I was
some-
like you that could have all this really cool music, but I'm not. I've got slightly more mainstream. What's been the most unexpected brand success story on Spotify?
Sure. I think that a lot of where Spotify is moving and headed with our advertising business is we are now able to serve mid-funnel and lower funnel objectives too. So we've long been a great awareness play, a great reach play, consideration, and we've seen really successful campaigns that drive clicks and other lower funnel outcomes, absolutely. But we have been bucketed in this upper funnel bucket of advertising spend. And a lot of the announcements that we're literally making today are Spotify's becoming a full funnel platform. We have more measurement capabilities. We have more lower funnel objectives. We're really serving more advertisers, and we're serving the existing advertisers with more outcomes, measurable outcomes.
Yeah.
And so when you ask about success stories, I have a lot that I can talk about in terms of just like really creative wins that drove press or awards, and I'm happy to talk about some of those. But I think that we have seen some really exciting success stories like Farm Rio, based out of Brazil. I love that brand, by the way. They leaned into audio and also visual, like our Canvas ads, and they used Spotify's Ads Manager, which is our self-serve tool, and they saw an extremely high return on their ad spend. They saw a lot of coupon redemptions because they had an incentive in their ads. And this brand has a lot of really interesting and cool patterns. It's a clothing brand based out of Brazil, if I didn't say that already. And they saw such success in lower funnel objectives. And so, again, it's not the most innovative thing. It was just effective advertising, which that's sexy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think if you're asking about surprising wins, I would say that Spotify's not just in that bucket anymore. And we're really excited to offer more capabilities that allow us to be able to prove where in the funnel Spotify plays a role for brands.
And didn't you also win some can lines last year?
Did.
That's pretty big.
Yes,
that's really hard, even to get, because I was a judge for social and influencer last year, or in the jury, and it's really hard to even get shortlisted for some of that. But you won some golds. You won 9, I think it was.
We won 9 can. I think, I don't want to misspeak, but I think we were nominated for 11 or 12 or shortlisted. Yeah. First of all, that's amazing to be on the jury.
It's very exciting.
It's very exciting.
You get to see some amazing work.
I'm sure. Yeah, we had this really incredible campaign, and it all stemmed from the goal of, hey, we need to make advertisers more aware that we have video too. We're not just audio.
Yep.
And then we said, okay, who is our audience? Who are we looking to reach? Media buyers.
Yep.
What I think was so creative about this campaign, and I feel so excited about, is the execution was phenomenal, but it was the unlocking of a new channel to reach media buyers, or to reach advertisers in general. That was just so cool and innovative. Rich Frankel and Jess Levinson on my team, I want to call them out because I hate taking credit for great work. They spent day in and day out on this campaign, and yeah, it was one of our biggest wins. So basically what it was is that we partnered with FCB, the agency, and we turned an Excel media plan into a video. Amazing. So you're a media buyer, you get your media plan in an Excel document, you open it up, and then all of a sudden it crashes, but it actually just turns your media plan into a music video. And it was really engaging. It was all built in Excel. Yeah. Which is funny because in a world of AI and looking toward the future, we took an age-old channel.
Yeah, love that.
And it was
even hearing
really
the word
successful.
Excel makes me go like that. So to hear that what you did with Spreadbeats, it was called, wasn't it?
Yes.
Just so innovative, and I think it's really good because B2B, we call it that, traditionally gets a hard rep. But actually, I think it's when you do something really innovative like that, it really raises the bar for other advertisers to kind of think, oh, do you know what, this is a fun, you can have fun with it, and it's a credit to your team.
Thank you. B2B, oftentimes people are like, it means boring to boring. Yeah. But like, if you work at Spotify and you can't be creative in B2B, where can you be? I mean, we have one of the best brands in the world. And yeah, that was a really exciting moment for us. And it's a high bar. We're like, what are we going to do next?
I know. 9 can lions,
we have some things
God.
Up our sleeves. So
okay, that's good. What advertising trends are you seeing emerge in the audio space or video space that aren't happening elsewhere?
I think my answer actually goes a bit toward culture on Spotify. Yeah. And maybe a bit about podcasting on Spotify. I've talked so much about the video complement to audio, so I'm not going to go down that path, but with podcasting in particular, it's like in audio, you've been hearing these people all day, every day. You might have an image in your head of what you think they look like, and you feel some sort of closeness to them because podcasts are creating these niche communities. Yeah. And it's not just a 5-minute podcast.
Yeah, long form.
Yeah,
oh my God.
long form.
I don't listen to anything under an hour now. I just love long form on Spotify.
Right. And so there is this, I think, emotional attention that we're finding that we're probably not seeing elsewhere. And it's just like how people are consuming culture or keeping up with what's going on, whether it's pop culture, or information, or news. You're using audio, you're using Spotify to get that information. And there's this like deep attention and emotional connection toward it that is doing two things. One is it's making you then watch video on our platform too, because you want to have that visual association with what you're hearing. But the other thing is, I think, which goes back to the whole value of advertising on Spotify in general, which is people aren't doom scrolling here. No. They're not swiping past. There's no brain rot.
You're settling in.
You're settling in. You are self-selecting. I want to hear this right now, and I feel good about it when I leave. It's a positive environment. There's this great stat that we have, which is that Spotify is the #1 most home screen or app on your phone, because it's people don't want to live without it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so bad about myself. I really need to delete music and podcasts from my phone.
So what's your take on like humor to information ratio in effective audio ads? Have you got research that says that humor works in audio, or is it just what a lot of people in the industry like to say?
Yeah, I wish I had a silver bullet answer for this, but I honestly think it goes back to the brand and their goal. Yeah. Because I don't think we would push more of an informational approach on a brand if they are a brand that has play and humor at their core. Yeah. And then conversely, we're not going to push the opposite on a brand if it doesn't make sense for them. The reality is on our platform, we have both, and both work. It's just dependent on where your ads are showing up and what your brand message is all about. We do have all of our data-backed best practices on things like, and we partner with brands and agencies to deliver these insights through Creative Lab, which I can talk more about. But
I'd love to know about that.
Creative. So I'll start there. Creative Lab is our in-house team of copywriters and creatives and art directors and storytellers and marketers. They're spread all across the globe, so it's a global team, and they are deeply embedded into what's happening on Spotify. They're obsessed with Spotify.
Yeah, that's great.
And they unpack these different trends and insights and best practices to help inform how advertisers show up on our platform. So we do creative strategy, and we also do creative production. And brands can tap into us for just one of those or both. But along those lines, some of the best practices are how dialogue in an ad can bring about different emotion.
Yeah.
And so that's where I think it's more about working with us on the best approach.
Yeah.
If you're targeting me, I want humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other people want more of an informational based approach.
What advice would you give to agencies and brands who still think about audio, or just with Spotify maybe as a secondary medium? So what would be your advice to them who maybe are thinking about it for a campaign they're doing? What would be your first sort of message and thing to them?
I would say Spotify adds more to your mix.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that literally adding Spotify to your media mix makes the results go up. So we find that when Spotify is added to your media plans, incremental lift across the funnel from attention to reach to purchase intent, and consider literally across the whole funnel. We have the stats. It's a 27% increase in consideration, over 66% increase in purchase intent. So I think that we're not a duplicative platform, we're additive because we have a different environment, really high quality content to associate yourself with, and then the results show that. So that would be my response to that. The only thing I'll add based on what we are talking about today and announcing today is that Spotify is becoming a more automated business. Yeah. We're making it easier for you to create, buy, and measure on our platform. And I mentioned the full funnel piece because with better measurement, you can advertise across the funnel with more ways to buy, like our Spotify Ad Exchange, which we're announcing formally, and Spotify Ads Manager. You have choice. Maybe you're hands-on keyboard and you want to use the Spotify Ads Manager. Great, we're investing in that. But at the same time, if you're already investing in programmatic, add Spotify to your media mix in order to measure and see that return.
And then last question, I'm going to be in Cannes this year. How do I get to come to the Spotify parties?
The number one question.
How many times do you get asked this? Is it the lead up to Cannes?
Oh, it's the lead up.
Yeah.
It's during. Like you check.
That's worse.
You check your phone and you're like,
oh,
I don't know this number.
Yeah.
Hey, Bridge, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Any chance you can get me in? No, look, Spotify can throw a great party. And we're really excited about how we're showing up at Cannes. We have some fun things up our sleeves.
It's the most exciting thing.
And I might be able to help you out there.
Thank you, Bridget. That's all I needed to get this on camera. So that's fine. Thank you. Look, it's been brilliant to talk to you. And good luck with your big announcements later today. And thanks for having me over to your Spotify office.
Of course.
Maybe part of it would be... Yeah. So maybe that goes hand in hand. Are we standing?
Yeah, you guys can sit for a sec.
Hi.
Hello.
How
you doing?
Very good.
Welcome. Hello. Very nice to meet you too. I feel like I might say very nice room. Go hang in here all day. Coolest room in the office.
Head on in if you want to take a seat or sit there as well.
First of all, welcome to my office. I'm just kidding. This is actually our music listening space, so we come in here and we listen to the new releases, we host artists in here, get to hear about what's coming out, and we get this incredible view. It's a pretty cool space. This is Gucci wallpaper, I just learned, literally right before you all came in. But yeah, this is one of the coolest spaces in the office. So what I do on the editorial team is I lead a US and Canada team of editors across all genres. We're listening to new music, and then programming that music into playlists primarily. So if you've listened to today's top hits or New Music Friday, Rap Caviar, Hot Country, these are playlists that my teams work on either directly or in collaboration with other teams. So we are listening to music all day, every day. And on a good week, we're listening to music all day, every day. We have editors all around the world. I'm based here in New York, but we've got editors all over the US and Canada, hopefully to represent each local scene. And we've also got editors all over Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. We have, I think, 160 editors now representing 40 markets. So we really believe in localization. We think in order to represent a community of users, we need to be on the ground. We need people that really understand that space directly. So we've been scaling this team up for a very long time. We've been in existence at Spotify for 12 years. The role has changed pretty dramatically in that time. As Spotify users, you'll see that we have tons of personalization across the platform. The Spotify editorial team helps to influence that personalization. We try to work really closely with product teams to create great products like the DJ, AI DJ feature. Editors are feeding into that to make sure that we have great, timely recommendations, that we're representing genres the right way, especially locally, explaining the difference to the algorithm of Brazilian funk and 70s American funk. These are very different genres, indistinguishable to you as a listener, but maybe not so distinguishable for our algorithm. So we try to feed in and then help the systems work better.
We're gonna go around. Just keep making.
I'm Rebecca McGuire. I work on our partnerships and licensing team here at Spotify. My team essentially oversees the commercial negotiations with a lot of the major publishers, and I've been here at Spotify for almost 4 years now. So I've been here since the early day inception of thinking about bringing audiobooks to really today where we are, which is we've just launched audiobooks in our premium catalog just about 1.5 years ago. So we're really thrilled with how that business is going. Yeah.
Here we go. This is backstage.
Yeah, it's just cool because he was just like a nobody, and now he's
Blowing up, I know. And it's honestly like one of the things we like.
sorry, guys.
That's right.
Like love doing at Spotify is like finding new artists. Because you guys can take like nice spaces.
So who's been in here? What names?
We had Louis Capaldi's come here and performed. Like I said John Rule earlier. I'm trying to think of who else we had recently. Oh, Jesse Reyes has been here as well and performed. Like a lot of different, and again, I know John touched on this too. LA, they do side as well because we do have a lot more interactive studios there where you can actually do recordings and stuff. Like our Spotify singles, which we also have another of our offices like in Sweden. So that's literally where artists will come and perform the music, making use of our spaces, these areas to get content.
I was already on email, that's why I saw it so quickly.
It's weird filming on the left, isn't it?
Flying tomorrow. But I was like, do you complicate? And they're like, we think so. I was like,
Let's look at names here of their meeting rooms. We've got Some Nights. We have LCD Sound System, great name. We've got Reptilia, here we go. What else have we got? I Like It, it's good. Here we go. So here I am, the next stop of the day. It's Brands and Culture at Webster Hall, 15 minutes away from the Spotify office. Just arrived, it's been going on all day. Coming a few hours early before my talk, my keynote. So it's very exciting to be at Webster Hall. Lots of amazing artists have performed here. Let's have a look at some of this. There we go, look at that. Be exciting to be on the stage today, so I'm going to go and check in and watch some talks. Let's get through security. Here we go.
And now we're about to have some beautiful music as well. Our performer for today is an Emmy-winning Violin Records, and also, by the way, he's the global chief musician.